what's your thoughts on like social currency and these big players that are jumping into crypto and now can kind of monetize it in a weird way we've never really seen before?
Yeah, well, I'll go at that two different ways. One, Elon Musk is a part of a huge phenomenon that's going to affect Bitcoin and Bitcoin holders for the coming years. And what that really is about corporate treasury management, trying to manage some long-term inflation rates and keeping their purchasing power. So you're seeing like MicroStrategy and Square and PayPal and Tesla buying Bitcoin as a part of their corporate treasury management. And they're really looking to be able to have a hedge against inflation and being able to maintain their purchasing power. That is going to be a huge theme in 2021 and 2022. I suspect 50 public companies by the end of the year will be doing some version of that. Taking that over to social currency, I mean, I really don't know where that's going to go. I think it's fascinating because value is getting generated and it's getting captured. The question then is just how value is getting created, but does it get accrued? Does it get accrued within the social tokens and does it stay there? And I don't have an answer for that yet. We're still very experimental there.
Yeah, 100%. I believe it. I think it's just a crazy phenomenon that we see. Like before, we have like all these famous people. They have obviously social currency that you can't really see. They monetize it through products or some type of promotion. And now we have like a crypto where this guy just goes on there, talks about Dogecoin, and these coins are pumping like crazy. And then people on Reddit are trying to somehow make money off of that. And I don't think there's really a strategy. So I kind of wanted to let my audience know that I'm on the same page as you. You know what I mean?
That's a disservice a little bit. The Dogecoin thing and marketing, and I wish Elon would stick away from that and stay with something maybe a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, it's just momentum right now, you know.
I think so. And if you look at just to throw this at you, maybe you look at it later, but look at the top 100 altcoins versus BTC and then time it with the Dogecoin purchases. That might point you a little bit in the right direction from what I thought he's playing around with people
Okay.
for sure. So, how long do you think this bull run's going to last? What's your kind of prediction time frame? Maybe price for Bitcoin if you want to answer that. Do you
Yeah,
think it's going to end this year? Or what's your time frame?
yeah. So if I had to try to put some constraints around this, I would say uh, the total value, total market cap in this run will be over 10 trillion before this ends. Uh, I think it's closer to 6 quarters from now, plus or minus. Uh, and I suspect because of its $10 trillion size in total market cap, the it's regulation or government that will somehow be the either a change in government, change in view, change in regulation, change in legislation, something at that level that's going to probably be the negative effect or the crash effect that would end this cycle. But we'll keep going again. So
Yeah, exactly. Because do you think it's run by specifically the halving event that everybody talks about?
we'll have to see. This will be the test of whether we have a Bitcoin 4-year cycle or not. I am not so sure. I having definitely has a big impact. But in the past, the amount of Bitcoin being sold by miners and the amount of money that they would create such that they can manage and maintain their miner equipment was a bigger percentage terms in the olden days, a year or two ago. Uh, in the future, as Bitcoin's market caps gets bigger and bigger, the amount that they have to sell to maintain and manage that selling pressure is less in total, in relative terms. And so I don't know if the 4-year cycle will hold as hard, but we'll see. I think it will always have an effect on the market for sure.
That's interesting. I never thought of it in that way. So when you were just kind of going back to what you were talking about with your book. So when you say 60-year cycle, right? Obviously you're looking at it in a way of like cryptocurrency in general innovating for the next 60 years, right? Where do you think we are in that specific cycle if you were to guess?
Yeah. So in that 60-year cycle, I would say we are 10 to 12 years in. We've kind of completed that what's called the eruption phase, which is really excited about technology and applying this, and that original disdain for old assets, and this is the new way. I can remember in the late 90s, like there were new world assets and no old assets, and if you had a .com or you were part of the internet, you were, the new school, and that's all that mattered in the 90s. I think we're, there again. The next part of the phase, I think, is a frenzy phase, as described by Dr. Colado Perez's work, and uh, that can be quite a while, and really prices can decouple from value, and it can be a pretty big mania, a pretty big run. So that's where I expect we're at over the next 4 quarters.
Okay. So you're like super duper long term bullish, no matter what. What's the worst case crypto? I mean, I know you talked about regulation and some type of government intervention.
Yeah,
Are you specifically talking about United States, or would it be like a collaboration of countries altogether? What's the worst case for you?
it could be. I mean, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, yes, we may have a crash. Yes, that may hurt. Yes, there may be years of pain. But overall, we're going to get something that's much more productive and much more diffuse to the entire world using it, therefore being able to take advantage of it. And so, all in all, it's going to be good. It's a part of every technological revolution. So, I think we're in, we'll have to see how these go. It's always volatile, right? Anytime you have innovation or clusters of innovation like this, it's chaos. Like you don't know how these things are going to apply and work together. And